page. So yesterday we've seen how to take a build template respective to your application type. Okay, and then basically, since this is a PaaS service, it gives most of the required, not most, the minimum required task to build your solution, and from there we need to extend it. Okay, now what's our extension? So everywhere you can have the automated builds because that is very simple, right? All you need is use MS build. I mean, if it is manual, from Visual Studio also you can create a build. I mean, it is simple, F5. And if it is some other tool, Jenkins, you just give the path and mention the MS build in some text box and it will build it. And the critical path are many people don't use it is your code analysis. And of course, nowadays people are using even code analysis as well. But what they don't use proper continuous integration. When I say proper continuous integration, if something goes wrong in your build, of course, your build is successful, there are no issues in your code, but still, if it is not as per the coding standards or as per the metrics what we define, then you need to fail the build. That's how you can ensure the quality of the code. The whole intention of having DevOps is not just about faster releases, but also about the quality of code. Okay, so for that, SonarQube. This is the most famous and I would say one and only one you have it actually. We use the SonarQube for the code quality purpose, and we also define code quality gates, etc. Guys, this is very important. Any interview or in your implementation, please talk about. I mean, when somebody says, "What do you know about build definition?" You say that you get, etc. But that you bring these terms, code quality and code coverage, etc., with your SonarQube. Okay. Because other things anybody can do easily. Okay, now so SonarQube, basically this is a simple, we will see how to install it and configure it. This is not a big installation like it's not an exe or something. It is a simple disk. It is developed on Java actually. It is simple what is a zip file, so you can simply unzip it and make some configuration changes, and it will be up and running on your laptops or servers. So the only thing what I don't do here is assigning some DNS name, because if I configure on my laptop, I can only use it from my laptop because it doesn't have any domain name. But if it is your production or dev, obviously you are keeping it on some server. Some of your infrastructure guy creating DNS name, and so that will be used by outside or inside. So that part we will not do because we are not having any DNS stuff here. So I will show you now. So the prerequisites are these things. You need to have the JRE. I mean, you can download it from the Oracle website. Okay, and then you will download the SonarQube executable as the artifacts from the SonarQube website, and then you need to set only one, that is Java home. I mean, this is mandatory for any Java development actually. This is just a part. We will do it from the environment variables. Once you do all these things, then we are good to go with the SonarQube integration with our build pipeline. Okay, we will do in this session itself. Let's see some features what it does actually. So let me, okay. So what are all the things you're going to do? So using SonarQube, so we already discussed, we can do the code coverage. For that you need the unit test cases in place. If it is not there, you basically get the zero code coverage, and you simply share those metrics with the respective people. And you also define the quality gates, as I told you just now. If the criteria is not met, we will fail it. If the criteria met, we will make it successful, and it can go for the release pipeline. That means the deployment. Okay. So what are the different steps involved in creating SonarQube and then integrating that with your build pipeline? So these are simple steps. First, you need to have your SonarQube server up and running. This is a web portal. You can log into the SonarQube portal, and then the way you are creating the projects in your Azure DevOps, in the similar way you will create a project in your SonarQube as well. So for the best practice, you give the same name. so that we can easily identify this code is related to this one, rather than giving us some different name. And then, so obviously your build pipeline is running on some Azure or some other server, and your SonarQube is some other software, right? It is running on some server. Then you need to have the integration. Either you go by the credentials like user ID, password, and the URL. The other way is creating some tokens. Here we use the tokens. Okay. Again, we don't go and create. Anything from the command prompt or something. From the SonarQube server, portal itself, you can create a token and use that token to integrate with your build pipelines. So this is as simple as that. So that is the prerequisites for integrating with build pipeline. Okay, now I said that code quality and you will fail the build. So that means you need to have a number of activities for that one, right? The way in the build pipeline, we added a NuGet task, and we added a build task, and we added a publish artifacts task. These are the tasks. Task is nothing but an activity. Something will happen with that. In the same way for SonarQube as well, you need to have some tasks part of your build pipeline so that it will do the code analysis. So what are those? So whatever I'm putting in my boxes, right? Those are the exact task names. So if you go and search for it, it will be available. Okay. The first one is you need to have the prepare analysis for SonarQube. This is first task. The next task is you need to have the run code analysis, and then publish quality gate results, and finally you have a break build and quality gate failure. So if you have time, in your free time, you can go and explore it. But anyways, we will be showing it here. Okay. So these are the 4 tasks that you need to integrate your SonarQube with your build pattern for the code quality. So we also see some more additional things, because it's not just about quality or something, right? You need to do some administration activities as well. So let us say, when you say best practices, right? Obviously, every product vendor gives best practices. Obviously, as implementers, we cannot implement all those best practices. The reasons could be, maybe they have some thousand best practices. Probably some 100 is relevant to you. You will only implement it. And for some people, by intention, they may not implement it. So those are many scenarios. So here also, so since if you are using .NET, basically all the best practices are from the Microsoft. If you are using Java, all the best practices are from the Java open source consortium, or now it is the Oracle because they acquired it. So they will provide all those best practices, and all those plugins or utilities are part of your SonarQube, because this is been in market since decades actually. So so we will see how to take a subset of your best practices, or use the entire best practices against your application. Okay. And then we also, so as we said, we need to create a quality gates, right? And we were talking about some criteria. So I said, okay, code coverage less than 80% fail it, greater than 80% successful. Such kind of criteria we will also see. And we will also see, how to even bypass something in your project. Those are some advanced things that we will, so it is a combination of your integration with build pipeline and as well as SonarQube administration. So with that, we will say, the SonarQube for administration as well as the code quality system. Yeah, you see, I kept it in the red color. I intentionally kept it. This is the task which makes your build success or failure. Okay. The other task, just do the analysis. This is the task. If you don't have this task, right, you cannot have that code quality gate. So if somebody asks you, how do you implement code quality gate? This is the task I'm going to do. And okay, this is some advanced version. I would say this is not for the DevOps people, but this is for the developers. Okay, this is for to improve the productivity time. So now, to know your code quality, right? What you are doing first, you need to push your code to the server, and then you have to run your build pipeline, and then it will run your code analysis on the Sonar Qube. After happening all these things only, you will come to know your code quality, right? But what is happening on the server? Everybody's code is there, not on your side. I'm building the centralized repository. So it is a time one. Let us say I'm done with my coding. I want to see the quality of code in my own on my code developer actually. I don't care about others. Okay. So, but your builds may not be running every time, right? They may not be having access to run whenever they want because it increases the servers, resources consumption, and everything. Many things will be there. So the easiest way is here is there is a plugin called Sonar Link. Okay, I would say this is your desktop version of your Sonar Link. Okay, so I can have this Sonar Link integrated with my Visual Studio, and whatever is the rule set, I'm using code rule set. I would say these are all the best practices. The term here is a code rules. Whatever is the code rules I'm using on the server can be used on my desktop as well. How I use? I will have this Sonar Link extension, and then in the configurations, I will give my Sonar Qube server in the. Of course, there will be some settings because integration, etc. Then what happens? Every time I do some 10 lines of code and obviously I build it right from the Visual Studio. Whenever I build it, it is doing the code quality locally. So I don't need to wait for some server build to happen. So and the end of the day or something, everybody checks in their code or push their code to the repository. And tomorrow you will not have any surprises, And even for the project managers or leads, right? It's easy because every developer already ensure that the code quality is being met on his local laptops, and then only that is being pushed to the server. So you may get something, but probably not as many as you think actually. So it will be easier actually. So that is the Sonar Link. So we will do this. I mean, once we do the Sonar Qube stuff, right? We will come back to this Sonar Link in the Visual Studio. That's the thing, because this is not a must, I'm sure, but this is one of the best practice that you can suggest to the developers. So your job we will finish telling this one Sonar Link, and you will give the access. I mean URL and everything to your developers. They just go and install the extension in the Visual Studio, and then they can configure it. So this is what I said. Okay, you will install that and then connect to the Sonar Qube server. You give the URL, and then they can go ahead and use it. I mean, they don't need to even look into this. Once it is configured, every time the project is built, it will get executed. So these are the things that you do as part of your Sonar Qube. Okay, now let's go and set up the Sonar Qube server. So you already seen the prerequisites. You need to have the Sonar Qube is a project. I would say execute. I don't say executable because this is not an exe. This is a simple code actually, which contains internally some way to open portal and everything, which is based on Java. So I will take that from the Sonar Qube server. So let's go and take it. Sonar Qube server from the okay. I didn't get it. Normally in project, right? But normally Sonar second. Yeah, okay. Sonar server should be started. It will start, it will go on actually. And it will come into picture when it gets invoked. Okay, but it will not consume your resources all the time. We are not, so Azure pipelines will not have your Sonar Qube. Sonar Qube is a separate server where you install on some virtual machine, or you install it on some server, any kind of machine, right? That's why I said we integrate. So we integrate your build pipeline with the Sonar Qube. Okay. So obviously there are no 32-bit machines, right? I mean, I don't see, at least from the last 15 years, people don't use 32-bit. It's all 64-bit, right? So download SonarQube for mine is Windows 10. So, and you can go to, I mean, this is sonarcube.org is your website, and it will give you all the versions. I would suggest you to take the stable version, because if you go to the website, right, the first one what you see is the latest version, and it could be in the preview mode or something. I will suggest to take the stable one so that you will not get into issues. And here you can see many options. I mean, community edition, and then licensed version. Since we are using only for the demonstration, or I would say POC, if it is your organization, you don't need to go for the enterprise version because you need to pay for it. Okay, so there won't be much difference. It's all about if you, I mean, let us say it's like people run some softwares on their servers. Most of the time that's free. They will get caught only when their data center gets audited actually. Till you are caught, you are good. So in the same way, people run this SonarQube freeware on the servers as well, because not many times people come and audit your data center. But that's not a good practice. But if you go for a bigger client set, they never use freeware. They go for the license. There is not much difference. You will use the same code base, but you are licensed because you are using it for a commercial purpose. Now we are using it for a learning purpose. So, so you can see there will be some minimum differences which you don't need to worry actually. Okay. So, and I'm not going to take the latest version. So, considering this, so you have the historical downloads. From here, you can take whatever is the version you can take. So I'm going to basically take the SonarQube 6.5 because the latest version, like SonarQube 8, right? Basically, it requires everything requires JRE basically. Okay, and it requires the sorry guys if it might be too technical for a DevOps test. The latest JDK is JDK, I mean Java 13, right? 13. The latest Java version is Java JDK 13 actually. In the latest version, both JRE and JDK are mixed. Okay, and I don't have an option to separately mention JRE actually. So there is some tweaking should be happened. I'm also not a Java guy, and there is not much support on the Oracle website as well. Many people are struggling for that one. And of course, most of your projects might be running on Java 8 or Java 9 or something. Java 8, right? So that's the reason I'm going to use here SonarQube 6.5, which supports Java 8, where I have both JRE and JDK separate actually. So since most of the people are having already Java on their PCs, right? Probably because of some other software prerequisites, every PC in the world contains Java. Okay. So I don't need to download. If at all you are using a fresh PC, you don't have anything, right? You can go and download from the Oracle website. And basically, I'm having this Java in my SQL and program files, and then Java, and then so once you install, you will get this JRE. The reason I am saying I am going to use this path actually. So to set my environment variable. Okay. So let's copy it. Let's keep it like this. You have your Java here, and once you download your SonarQube, right, there is no particular folder for this one. You can run it this SonarQube anywhere. You can even keep it in the downloads folder as well. I'm running from the downloads folder itself. So all you need to do is just download this SonarQube. I'll take this one, SonarQube 6.5, because this is very stable version. So okay, it's only internet is good. That's cool. So once I open this, I just need to make a couple of configurations. Okay, one is related to the database. If you are using a production version of SonarQube, right? Obviously, you need to have all these metrics saved somewhere else. You can use Oracle, you can use SQL Server, you can use MySQL. It supports many languages. All you need is you need to go to that configuration file, give the user ID, password, and the connection string. If you're a Java guy, you know how to set up the JDBC in the card, and you just need to copy paste your stuff. Since this is a demonstration purpose, I'm not going to use any Oracle or it comes up with an embedded database. I'll go with that.
Will it be
Okay.
same for every language and like
Yeah.
.NET, CH, Python,
Yes,
SAP?
yes. Yeah. So SonarQube supports all these things. First, let me configure this. Once I open this, you will come to know. So it is
Okay.
not, your configuration is not specific to language. It is specific to your SonarQube installation. Okay.
Okay.
So all you do is you will simply go and unzip it, right? So let me go to my downloads folder, show in folder. So I am already, I mean, since I already have the downloaded version, it is giving off to actually. Once you unzip it, right? Let's go to, I already unzipped. Uh, I unzipped it multiple times, SonarCube 6.5. Let's go to SonarCube 6.5. This is the one I downloaded. Once you unzip it, you will get it actually. So, and then the one what you give attention is this configuration folder. Go to conf folder, and these are the two files where you can make some changes. Just open a wrapper. So first time it won't show the notepad because I'm editing with the notepad. It is showing that notepad symbol. All you need to do is basically you will not have this line. You see this, this is a path to my Java installation directory. C colon program files Java JRE1 pack. I just open this. This is the path actually. Okay. So when you first open this, right, your configuration folder and this wrapper, it will look like this. It is in comments hash. You have to give the path to your JDK. So I already have it, but I will open anyways. I downloaded that new one, right? I can just open and show it to you. So let's go to our what do you say, the latest downloaded one. Go to downloads. This is the one I downloaded. I can straight away show it from here. Let's not unzip. We don't need to unzip. SonarCube 6.5 and this configuration. This is wrapper.conf folder. Open it. So it is simply having just Java, but you need to give the complete Java. That's why I opened my folder and copied it and pasted it here. That's all you need to do it here. Okay, and other things you can just leave it as it is. Okay, so it basically runs as a service. So the service name will be SonarKit. These are all built in. You don't need to do anything. Actually. So let me close both from my unzipped folder and zipped folder. Yeah, let me go to my conf, and then we have one more sonar file. Okay, this is where you will mention your database configuration. As you see, it supports basically everything will be in the comment mode, which is a hash. You see the hash, right? Everything is commented. So if you basically your SonarQube runs on port number 9000. Okay, you don't need to configure. That is the default one actually. So if I go to my, let us say, localhost colon 9000, it will open. And if you are using it from the outside your server, then you have to give your IP address or your DNS name and then colon 9000. Or if they give a complete some DNS name, you can simply say SonarCube server / whatever it is. So it all depends on the network configuration. So here, this is where you give your database stuff. If you are using MySQL, you just uncomment this line. Okay, remove the hash, and then people whoever is using MySQL, they know how to give the credentials. Yeah, and if you are using Oracle, you just uncomment these lines. So it is saying, and if you are using Postgres, and if you are using SQL Server, so you have, I mean, you have all these support here. You just go and give your database. Right now, I'm using embedded database, so I don't need to do anything. since I already set up my Java path in my configuration file, that's all I need. But I also need to set up my Java environment variable. We call it as an environment variable. So how do you set up? Again, you need to copy the same path. Let me close it. So if it is a Windows, it's a straightforward. I mean, you can go to, my computer, this PC, and then go to properties, and then you have the advanced system settings, and then you have the environment variables. Okay, you can go and add your environment. How you can? I mean, it's simple. You can click on edit, and then sorry. So this is a JDK path, and there is a one more path as well. So okay, click on. So wherever you add it, it works actually. Don't worry about it. Okay. So this is the one I added, Java JRE/begin. Okay, you can add like this and then just make an entry. So this is, if it is a Linux or something, I'm not a Linux admin, but there are commands like export, and they set that dollar path equal to, and then path, and then they give the path actually, if it is a Linux. Okay. So these are very old commands, and you will get the very first command will be that one only, if we say how to set a Java environment variable. Okay, now I am done with my Sonar Qube configuration. It's all about download, set the conf folder properties, and then set the Java home. It is as simple as that. And now, how do you access it? As I told you, Sonar Qube by default runs on the port 9000. Okay, now since I'm running from my local PC, I can give a local host and 9:9000. Let's go and hit it. This is the home page that you get it. Okay, so I haven't logged in basically, and these are all the options what you get with the projects, issues, rules, profiles. You see, we were talking about the rule sets, right? You see a lot number of rules here, and it supports many languages. As I told you, it supports Java, Python, C Sharp, Flex, XML, and there are many as well. Okay, and it will even analyze your database scripts as well, like SQL Server scripts as well. It will analyze and will give you. Okay, uh, and then since we haven't logged in, we have to log in first. So we will create the profiles as I said, and we create the quality gates as I said. Okay. Now let's go and log in. This is on the bottom, top right hand. So Sonar Cube, every software comes up with a default user ID password. Here it is a admin, and then same user ID password. So I'll save it for the future references. Okay. This is the home page.
Hello, Purna. Hello.
Hi, can you
Hello,
go on mute? Somebody is talking. Not talking.
Purna. Sorry for interrupting you, but while I am trying here from localhost 9000, I am not able to connect to the Sonar server.
What it is saying?
While I am connecting to this Sonar server, I am not able to connect.
Yeah, what exception you are seeing?
This site can't be reachable, like it is showing. This site can't be reachable.
Okay, did you set the okay, you are very fast man. So did you set the environment variable Java?
Yeah, I have set.
Did you set the
I have
configuration?
12.0 version in my laptop Java.
Okay, then so as I told you, there are for different versions there are different stuff actually. Right now I cannot tell you what is the issue you are having. Okay, but you send. I can give you your email ID. Send me your screenshots or something, and I'll come back to you. I will take question and answers end of this one, and this is my email ID. Okay. So we'll come back to your query after end of this session.
So how to set up embedded database? So show us how to set up
Yeah, we don't
embedded
need to set
database.
up for the embedded database, you don't need to set up. That's what I opened that configuration folder, right? Okay. By default, it uses the embedded database. Okay. But if you want to set up some other Oracle, I mean, if you are using it for the production purposes, you cannot use the embedded. The only reason I mean, when you are using embedded database, it doesn't mean that it's not a database. It saves everything. It is I mean, let us say when you install some product, right? It comes with the embedded database. Most probably they use a Postgres, or they use a Debian database, etc. Because they are open source and lightweight, and it also uses some lightweight database inside. But only the problem when you compare this embedded database with other database like Oracle or SQL Server, performance. Okay, if you are using a huge loads, right? If you are using hundreds of people are using, hundreds of builds are using this sonar cube, then your embedded databases cannot cope up with that volume of load. Actually, that's the reason people go with the licensed version as a separate database. For embedded database, you don't need to set up. It is by default. You can just open your conf folder and then open the wrapper. There you see I mean, for different databases. So guys, for easy purpose, the latest, I mean, the stable version is 6.5, and use the Java 8. I mean, you can easily do it actually. But for other versions, I mean, there are specific, specific configuration settings or some tweaks to be done, which we cannot do it online actually, because it takes hours and hours or days and days, and we need Java expertise here as well. Okay. Okay, so we have this Sonar Cube server available. Now, this, I mean, we will not get into all these different tabs now. I'm just opening it for you. I mean, probably you can do it before me. Okay, so you can do the administration activities. I can do the quality gates and then profiles. Okay, so you have the C-sharp profiles, and then these are the rules. Okay, and so basically, in real time, what happens? I'm just giving some inputs for the upcoming sessions. I basically give some code rules set, let us say C#.NET, and they might be having some 100 or 200 rules basically, and everybody is getting the violations. People say, I don't want to have this rule, but I'm okay with another 99 rows. I don't want this one row. So you can suppress them. So you can do all that kind of thing. So that suppression can be done from the code. I mean, if you're using Java or .NET, in the code itself, you can suppress uh, to avoid that rule actually. But you can do that from the administration. Okay. So for the time being, let's go ahead and create some project. Okay. We haven't linked. We just have some very, the standalone version of your Sonar Cube, which doesn't have anything. This is all its metadata and its features. We need to link this Sonar Cube with our build pipeline. So we mentioned the number of steps, right? You create a project and then you integrate with build pipeline. Even right now, I'm going to create a project here. Right? If I go ahead and create a project, what it contains is just a folder. The way when you create a DevOps project in Azure DevOps, it is just a container, right? After that, we need to go and push our code to the Azure DevOps. Then only it contains the data. First, you just create a container, which is nothing but your folder. So, I am already logged in. It's my account, and I'm just and this is the place where we generate the tokens. Okay, now let's go to the projects, and then let's create a project. Here is my new project option. Oh, every time I find this. Okay, you go to the administrations projects, and then you will get this creating a project option. Simply create a project. As I told you, as a best practice, give the same name what you give in your Azure DevOps for better correlation. Let's go to my DevOps portal, and then we are using, what is the one we are using? Sorry, I'm in a different one. This is my organization name. This is the project we are using, right? Azure CI Demo Lab. Let me take this, let me copy this. Now go to Sonar Qube. Let me close all these things. Let me close it.
We need to start Sonar Cube after.
Not required. Not required. See, not only this Sonar Cube server, any software, right? Why do you stop and start the services? The first thing is to improve the performance. Sometimes what happens, we have the cache stuff, and it might have created a lot many junk files. That's where you restart the service. It can be a web server, it can be a service, anything. The moment you see some performance issues, so the people, how we restart our PCs if something doesn't work, to clear everything and it starts fresh. But here you don't need to stop or start actually. So because it is internally running, it doesn't cause any issues. So if that is it, when it's like, okay, these are the different concepts basically. Your applications runs in a different ways. Let us say I have my .NET application. To run my .NET application, I have to deploy to my IIS. That is one way. The other way is I can have my built-in what is my built-in web server in my code itself. And when the moment I created a package and put it somewhere, and I can open it. I have the configuration. If I give this URL, I can get it. So it will automatically start that one. In the similar way, even Sonar Cube as well, right? So the code is written in such a way that, so this by default it runs on the 9000 code. So the moment you give your IP address :9000, or if you're running from the same server, localhost /9000, it will go and hit that. That's a network configuration code they written inside it. I don't know how they written it, but this works actually. Okay. So the branch name, again, I will suggest you to give the same branch name on which your CI pipeline is working. But this is not tightly coupled. This is just a test. This is for our verification purpose. See, we are not linking actually. So let's go and give a master only. And I'm going to give a key actually. This key is nothing but your entry point. You have to remember. Okay. Let's for easy purpose, I will give the same key, the project name, copy it, and then paste it. And I'm not going to make it as a public. Public means anybody is having, URL of this project, right? They can see the metrics. Okay. Let's make it private, and then create. Now, the project is being done actually. This is as simple as that. Okay. Now, if you open this, there won't be anything. Okay, and you remember this one, the key here it is, this is the key name I given and the master branch. So we will be using this one. Let me save it somewhere. Because after 2-3 days I'll forget it again. I have to navigate there and here to look for this. So now I'm done with this. So in our slide you seen, right? You create a project and then you need to have a token actually. Okay. So as you seen, right? You have to go to this administration, and then that security basically. You go here and then go to my account and then security and then give some, I mean, to generate a token, you just need to give some string actually. So you can give any string. There is no hardcode dependency. I'll just give the same name, Azure CI Lab, generate. Okay, done actually. Let me copy this token. Copy. I'll have this in my 8 a.m. So, I mean, if I lost it, I can go and regenerate one more thing. That's not a big deal, right? But let me keep it here. Okay. So now I created a project. I have the token available. And now I have to go to my build pipeline and integrate this Sonar Qube with my build pipeline. Okay. Right now, I cannot use this Sonar Qube with my build pipeline because my laptop is standalone. It is not part of any Active Directory, or it is not part of my Azure cloud. Okay, that means it is not accessible over internet, and I don't have any DNS, I mean domain registered and use it. So I cannot access this outside of my laptop. So that's the reason. What I do is, again, you may say that you can go and use a virtual machine, but it has to run and it incur a cost for me, right? So what I'm doing, I'll be going and using online version of Sonar. The way Azure is having TFS, VSTS, etc., and you have the Azure DevOps server to run on your local, and Azure DevOps as a PaaS service. We are using the PaaS service, right? In the same way, even for Sonar Cloud, Sonar Qube also you have the cloud version. So because which is available on the online, we integrate. But I explained these things because in future you may need to, you will have to run this. If you are working for an organization which just started your DevOps journey, right? Then you have to set it up. If you are already working for a bigger organization or established organization, they already have all these things in place. You just need to go and use them actually. So since I cannot use it online, I'm going to use the cloud version of my Sonar. Okay. Before that, so let's go to my build pipeline. So this is my build, right? And let's edit it. So let's go back to my presentation. So we mentioned these tasks, right? As I told you, these tasks are exact names what I use it in the build pipeline. So the first one is you need to have the prepare analysis for Sonar. Okay? Let's go back. Okay, and you already remember this Windows specification because we already set it up. How do you add a task? You can go to the agent and then simply search for Sonar. Guys, you will get the first two things, Sonar Qube for MS Build, etc. These are the deprecated. I mean, these are no longer supported by Sonar Qube actually. So don't use them. That's why they mention, deprecated here. Okay, don't use them. So we will go and use these tasks, okay, and our task name is Sonar Qube prepare analysis for Sonar Qube. Let's go and say prepare analysis. It should come immediately. Okay, right now everything is sorry, I'm using the other batches, right? I should be getting the add option, and but this is a different organization. I have to add the task. That means first I need to get the task, means I install it, that extension into my organization, then only it will be available. Okay. So you have the Sonar Qube and you have the Sonar Cloud. Okay. I will show you how to use Sonar Cloud. I mean, everything, look and feel, the options, everything is same. But that is online version. This is your on-premise version. Okay. If you are using your on-premise version, you can go ahead and use this. Let us say get it free, and then say get it free. So every extension will be installed in the same way. So I'm going to install this into my Azure DevOps 8 AM session. This is my organization name. Let's go and install. You see, this guy is giving option for Azure DevOps server as well. Let us say if you are using your local Azure DevOps server, you can download. That means it will directly go into your Azure DevOps server local. Okay. Since I'm using online, I will use the first option. That's it. You're all set. You can proceed to the organization. That's it. I can close this. Now I can come back to my build definition. Let's again refresh it or search for it, whatever you want to do. So this is the one I was talking about. We use this task. And then you have the other things as well. Because I installed the SonarQube extension, it got all the tasks that are available in that extension. So here, right now, this is where it takes a lot time to explain and configure all these things. It's not a 5 minutes job actually. Of course, you may go and do it very quickly, but you will not be able to use it in some other places, because without knowing the basics, right? If you straight away go and follow some tutorial and do it, when you do it for the other people, then it will be difficult. So with that, I will stop it for today. But anyways, now you come to know what we're going to do in the next sessions. Okay, you can go and do some R&D for your purpose. Otherwise, don't worry. We will be doing everything hands-on here itself. So after this also, I will tell you what we're going to do. We will going to do because when you say it is a application, right? It's just not your code, right? You have your databases as well. Most of the times, what happens? You do not do the database deployments. That will be taken care by the database administrators separately. But now the organizations are moving towards database deployments as well. So we will do that one as part of these sessions. Okay, so we will be doing in the upcoming sessions. Yes, that's it for today from my side. And one simple note, I mean, I will take the question and answers. The institute is closed for next week from Monday to Thursday. Institute is closed. Again, it will be on Friday. Okay, I am okay to take the class on Friday if you guys are okay. But if you guys are on long weekend, I mean, I'm expecting because Sankranti, right? Most of the people will be out, and I do not take on Saturday, Sunday. It will be only on Friday. Institute works on Friday. If majority of you people are okay for Friday, I will ask the management to continue this session on the Friday. I mean next Friday. If it is not, we will take the session on Monday. It's up to you guys. I'm available on Friday. So I need to tell this one to the management. That's the reason I'm asking. And then I expect the same thing, but still, this is my responsibility to ask all of you.
Yeah, Friday it is okay.
Okay. Yeah, somebody say. So you are guys. I need to take the majority of the opinions. So I have the classroom guys sitting here, and they're asking for the Monday, and of course I need to take your opinion as well.
It's okay for me. Either Monday or Friday, anything.
Okay, thank you, man. Because most it's a long, I mean, Sankranti, right? Most of the people off for the entire, even offices are closed. Most of the people don't know. So, okay, then, if that is a silent, only one person is asking for Friday. Guy, I mean, excuse me, majority of the people are asking for Monday. Please bear with it. It's only one class. We will anyways see after this class I don't have any classes, so I can spend another 15 minutes extra, and we can close it whatever we lost it, right? Every day 15 minutes will be okay now. I mean, we can close the course on time actually. So we will not be extending because we will take another 15 minutes because again these holidays are expected. So we'll take additional 15 minutes and we will close the course on time. Okay. Thank you guys. Uh, have a good weekend and a good holidays. Happy Sankranti. And we'll see you guys after a week.
It on Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday. So I can see only Rocket, only Nasir is saying Friday. Sorry, Nasir, most of the people, more than 90% people asking for Monday. Excuse us for one class. Thank you guys. Happy Sankranti and happy holidays.
So we pass